All right, guys. So in this one, I want to deep dive some of the biggest copium that I ever put myself through over the past couple years, and also just gotta disclose something insanely embarrassing that a lot of my friends know. And I'll give you a hint. It's right there in the title and thumbnail. Yes, over the years. So let me preface this by saying this. I haven't played Genshin Impact in over a year. Okay. So I had this copium going with myself where I'd say if I just played the game every day and bought the little $10 battle pass, I can get every other character, right? And that's what I told myself. And with anybody who has a slight gambling problem, which, by the way, do not ever play a gacha game. And I'm not saying I have like a money gambling problem. Thankfully, I don't. But a normal person does not spend $2,000 on a video game. It's a form of a gambling addiction, if you ask me. Okay, like anime girls on the internet that you have to get lucky to get. It's it does something to your brain. It's like a dopamine fuse or something. Okay, for those of you who have played the game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Or other games, any gacha game in general, right? Overwatch loot crates. So here, let's get into it for a little bit. God, this is so embarrassing. Okay, so again, I put it in the thumbnail, but I just wanted to show you this. This is I played the game for 635 days, and I mean, like, you could do the math there. Like, I don't know. I'd say probably most of those days I probably played like 8 hours, so, or not eight, maybe, I don't know, four. Let's see, four. If I played 4 hours every day, which is probably a good estimate, because I know a lot of days I played eight. Maybe some days I might have just logged on to get the reward. So let's estimate. We'll do half. I know some days I've definitely played more than eight. 635 times four. That's 2,540 hours. It's pretty disgusting. So you know what though? That's probably about the money that I spent. So I want to deep dive that a little bit. Here's my account that hopefully I'll never log back into, which now it just sits here as like a museum. But so the problem with that little methodology that I put out of like why I spent so much money on this game was like I'd plan it out. I'd be like, okay, if I spend this amount of money, I would have this probability of getting the character. I'd be like, that's 80% probability. And like, sometimes you get it immediately. And other times you have to literally there's something in the game called reaching the pity. So say when you pulled 90 times, which was the equivalent of like, holy shit, I can't even remember now, but it was like 50 to $100 or something. No, it was literally yeah. But anyways, so you would roll 90 times, and I think that was $60, 60 or $70. And you would basically have a 50-50 chance to get the new character. And they would call it losing the 50-50 in the Genshin community. And if you didn't like win the 50-50, you'd literally have to spend another $60 to get this character. So it's like, imagine blowing $60 on a character trying to get it, and you wouldn't get it. And this is where they also suckered you in right here. All right, they're still doing this, by the way. I'm going to show you a little bit here. The live count. So recently, their player base has been very upset because it's their third year of this Lantern Rite Festival. Like, the game is very big in China, so they do it based on the Chinese New Year. And the Lantern Rite Festival comes out every year for the game. And this year, by the way, like, you could look up Asmongold or whoever else talking about this. Genshin Impact hates their community. Like, they're trying to do some weird thing. I don't know. Like, do they hate their community or not? But they like the people of Honkai Star Rail, that's for sure. But here you can see they're still, like, honest to God, they're still flourishing. Like, a lot of people say that less people are playing the game. They may have lost like 3 million, but what does that really matter when you have 65 million people or whatever playing the game? So, 63 now. So, like, they're doing okay, right? The machine is still turning. I was actually watching him talk about this because I am so blown away sometimes of how far this game has fallen. So, like, I want to talk about why I got into it in the first place. And why now I'm so upset with the game, right? Like, of just what it's become. And like I said, literally, I'll never play it again until they finish the story, and then I'll probably go all the way through it again. Like, not all the way through the entire game, but I'll finish the story. So I was super hyped up at the start because I was like, this game's like Breath of the Wild, but you can play as somebody other than Link. Like, you can play as four different characters. That's amazing. Everybody remembers it as a Breath of the Wild clone, right? Not only that, the initial, I will say, a lot of, and this is the reason why people emulate this game a lot, is like the world was huge, especially I don't know, maybe like the graphics or the way they did it, but like there was a gigantic continent you could go in the game, and they expanded every patch. Like, the game's huge now. But I loved it at first. Like, the sense of adventure is incredible, the story was incredible, but just like this gotcha mechanic, it literally ruined the entire game for me because I started to associate like all of this like luck and like me spending money with how much I was enjoying the game, because like I wanted to play the new content, but it was behind this like paywall, right? And oh yeah, that's right. The other way they get you is like they'd put out the new character, but then they also put out the new character's new weapon. And it's like, if you want them to like be the best they can be, you also got to spend that $60 to $100 or $60 to $120 to literally get their 5-star weapon. And it's pretty pathetic. Like, I have a lot of them. I have literally so many of the ones that like is the best weapon for the character. Pathetic, man. Absolutely unbelievable. And it all started at this one, dude. This Tartaglia banner. I need you to know, guys, because I distinctly remember this. It was a couple months after the game started, and I got like really bad luck. But I think I spent like $300 on this banner or something. Like, between the like, I wanted his weapon and I wanted the character. It was like $300 or $400, and like literally just to get this one guy in the game, which like they wound up making a better version of him anyways come out like a year later. I spent like $400 on this game. It was like absolutely unbelievable. So like really, the predatory gotcha mechanics literally ruined the entire game for me. Like, because I can't even speak highly about this game now to other people because like, and some of my friends, like, we've talked about this. They like, it would be good if it wasn't for the fact that they were doing this. Like, it's kind of like amoral, really, if you think about it. Like, there's games now that like no, and so I get it, right? It's a good business model. It is a good business model. After all, it worked. It made money. Like, at the end of the day, the machine doesn't care, whether it's moral or not. Like, they made like a bajillion dollars. They are literally like still like one of the highest. Like, this is one of the highest grossing games of all time. Literally, it won a Player's Choice at the Game Awards that one year or whatever. But like, it's so crazy. It's like me and so many other people are stuck between like a rock and a hard place, because especially the developers like just taking advantage of the community and never giving them like an actual reward for like playership. It's like just for once, I was always waiting for the day I'm a big like RuneScape fan, and like RuneScape would come out and they'd be like, "All right, here's it's Christmas. Here's like a whole bunch of free stuff. It's going to be a really cool event." And like Genshin would do that, but like to an extent. Like, there's only so much you could do. Like, when you have to spend 180, or you have to spend literally like, I think it was like $400 to get a character and his weapon. It was like, and the weapon, I'm sorry, and the event, like, you could get probably about like $40 worth of currency out of it. And like I said, that's why the copium of me starting to lie to myself and be like, well, if I played every other character, or if I played every day, I could get every other character and their weapon. And that was like the biggest load of bullshit I fed myself for so long, because I would get that one character and I'd be like, all right, I got him for free. And then the next one would come out and I'd be like, oh, they'd really compliment my team well. So it's like, you are always going to be stuck between a rock and a hard place in this game. Like, I mean, I am on the low end of how much money I've spent on this game. Like, you'll see, like, look up how much some content creators like spent on this game when they were making content for it, and I am just so happy I missed that wave. Like, look up Tectone or Mtashed or maybe some others. I'm not sure. Holy shit, man! This game like ripped my wallet apart, and I'll never forgive them. But it was a good time. Like I said, I'll pick the game up again when it's done. But yeah, so that's pretty much gonna do it. Just want to talk about that a little bit. My God, dude. But shout out to the music though. The music's actually insane in Genshin Impact, and Like they did some cool stuff in the game. They did add some cool quality of life stuff, but nothing. They never fixed the actual problem. They kind of just like kept. I don't want to. Yeah, they just. Who knows what's going on in their heads? But yeah, that's it. You guys have a good one. See you in the next one.